for me, it's about filling this depth chart. I know many general managers say, well, what's the best of my board? I'm just saying, like, if Jeanty's there and they take him at 10, I'm not going to get mad like I thought I would be a month ago because of everything else that the Bears have done.
Adam Jahns suggested in The Athletic today that if the Bears, because of what they've done in free agency, shore up the offensive line, made a lot of moves, and then also going out, signing players on the defensive line, that the board could be open at 10. Would you be okay, Jonathan Hood, if that happened and the Bears selected someone, say, Ashton Jeanty, that fell to 10, or Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State?
No, well, I think that the key is the lineman. But before we get there, we understand that one of the great things about the Detroit Lions is that their running game was potent. It was very productive with the offensive line that they put out there because you had David Montgomery and you had Gibbs being able to run free because they had great offensive line. I know that's one of the linchpins of why that Lions offense worked, and I'm sure that that's what Johnson wants for this team. He sees DeAndre Swift and say, I had Swifty. He was good, but maybe I can upgrade in that spot. But do you upgrade at 10? I would probably say no. I would rather for the Bears to be able to get on the line. Here's the thing. Because of the movement that has been made with the Chicago Bears, I'm not going to hit the roof like I was going to a month ago and say, boy, if you take 10 and you don't fix your offensive line, then what's the point? Well, I can't give you that point of view anymore because look at what they've done with the offensive line. So I get my answer to that is I'd rather for them to look at defensive line or offensive line and then run it back with Swift and get yourself another running back, either free agency or the draft.
Yeah, I think if
and Ian Wheeler.
The way I would look at it would be this. Jeanty, no, it's not going to work for me. The price is too high.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be taken before 10, but if you're at 10 and you want to take a running back, say Ryan Poles is just clamoring to snag a running back in the first round.
All right.
Then you got to move out of 10, move back, and you target Omarion Hampton from North Carolina.
Go down in the first round, right?
Go down in the first round. Move back, and at the back of the round, you could take Hampton from North Carolina, who's a little bit bigger than Ashton Jeanty, a better pass blocker than Jeanty, and I think he's going to be a hell of a player as well. This is going to be one of the deepest running back classes that we've seen in an NFL draft. I wouldn't bite at the first one. I would move back, and you target someone that you really like that fits your system. That's what I would do if you had to go running back. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, at 10, if you're staying at 10, offensive line, defensive line, that's the way I'm going. If you're going to take a different position, then you have to move back.
You just can't get okey-doked like you did last year. Remember, defensively, the Bears have enough because he got Montez Sweat. He'll be the elixir to fix everything. And it was one of the more porous defensive lines that we've seen in a long time. You were there in Soldier Field. You and Adam were able to see a defense that got run over. And then the passing game, how many quarterbacks?
Just no teeth to the defense.
Well, how many quarterbacks passed over the backside of the linebackers in front of the secondary? Over and over and over and over again. Time and time again against this defense. And I don't want to say QUIT. I don't want to use that term because I don't know what's in the heart of those players. But what I can say is that I felt like at times the defense was so, I guess, dismayed about the way that they were coached and the way that they played that they might have shut it down. And sometimes they shut it down.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the moment Billings left, he was hurt. They were a different defense.
Yes.
And yeah, you spelled it out. Quit. I don't know if they quit. It just wasn't the same fight.
Felt like they shut it down sometimes.
Especially, there were situations like Jalen Johnson at the goal line, business decision, not putting his head in there and trying to make a tackle, just allowing, what was it, the 49ers game?
Yeah.
That he just allowed a running back to just have a touchdown. I mean, that certainly happened with the defense last season, no doubt.
I felt
it was a different defense.
You know me, I don't like to use that term, especially when I don't play.
Right.
Because
right.
I don't. But when you take a look at the film, I'm sure some of the coaching staff at that time last year said, "What is this now?"
Well, they couldn't stop anybody.
That's brutal.
They couldn't stop anyone. So, I think that's the way they should go. Continue to build depth on the lines. If Will Campbell, like Daniel Jeremiah is suggesting, is available, that would be a dream pick at that selection at 10. If you're Mel Kiper and you're suggesting an edge rusher, I'm cool with that. If you want a running back, if Ryan Poles has to draft a running back, then you move back. Take the back at later.
Yeah, but Potsy loves Jeanty. But here's a question, Potsy. Like at 10.
Potsy, you love Jeanty?
I love Jeanty in general. Like wherever he goes, I think he's going to be a star. That does not mean he should go to Chicago. That doesn't mean that's what the Bears need. But he's going to be really good.
Okay.
But I mean, again, for me, it's about filling this depth chart. I know many general managers say, well, what's the best of my board? I'm just saying, like, if Jeanty's there and they take him at 10, I'm not going to get mad like I thought I would be a month ago because of everything else that the Bears have done. What I would say is that he better be a linchpin for you offensively at 10, especially when you need more defensive linemen.
Absolutely. So. We do have stadium news in the NFL.
Oh, stadium news.
Stadium news in the NFL.
Not like zoo news.
Abdal, have you seen this? Is this a part of the lunch rush, or do you want to talk about it now?
Stay out of the lunch rush.
All right. We will travel in. We will have some lunch with the lunch rush with Abdallah coming up next, and there is stadium news in the NFL.